Welcome back to Notes from the Pathway of Wonder and Awe. I'm Michelle McEwen. Each month, these notes accompany our Wild Wisdom monthly practice, exploring its theme through stories, reflections, and experiences from my own life. This month, our theme is the heart of belonging. In these notes, I'm exploring the mystery of belonging. Milne Bay Province, Papua New Guinea, 2007. We arrive at the airport with plenty of time to spare to find the new extension is open. When we'd first arrived, the place was a tin roof above a conveyor belt at the end of a small tarmac. A simple wooden plaque with the name Gurney Airport, Milne Bay Province painted on it greeted us as we alighted from the aircraft. The new building was modest and not yet finished. The place is eerily deserted. A couple of brand new check-in desks stand unattended. Rows of empty seats look straight out onto the runway, but there is no plane. There's nothing to do except sit down and wait. Before long, a woman appears and sits in front of us. I lean forward. "Do you know when check-in opens?" She shrugs her shoulders. Who would know? But the plane is due to depart soon, and I can't see one on the tarmac, and there are no other passengers. She looks at me knowingly. People will arrive when the plane comes, and the plane is often late. Often late, I repeat. Yes, sometimes a few hours, or a day, or even a week. A week? I feel panic rising. Our plane back to Australia leaves Port Moresby late today. I notice that she's covered in fierce red bites. What happened? Do you want some cream? She shrugs again. I've been in the Highlands for months and just learnt to put up with it. What have you been doing? I ask, all ears. She had an Australian accent and wasn't all that old. Oh, I'm an anthropologist. I work for the British Museum, and for my first project they gave me a suitcase of old photos taken of Indigenous Papua New Guineans during the missionary era. They'd never been catalogued, and my brief was to find out who they belonged to and return them. I look at her incredulously. How on earth did you do that? Well, I was floored when they first assigned the job to me. When I arrived here, I was met by 6 Highland men who were to be my escort, and we walked into the Highlands. It's very tricky, you know. It's still wild out there, and I was warned to stay close as we could be ambushed along the way at any moment. It's very dangerous to be white, let alone a white woman in some of those areas. She told me she initially hadn't a clue how she would get this assignment done, but she decided to go to each school in the region where the locals were invited to come and meet her and see the photos. And lo and behold, people recognised their kin in the photos. She went from area to area to each school or meeting place and showed the photos until all had been claimed. What did you do with them? I left them in the care of the relevant school libraries. Suddenly the tiny airport filled with people, and a plane landed out the front, a tiny twin propeller plane. The door opened and a short, narrow flight of steps unfolded to the ground. I looked at all these people who had suddenly arrived. How are they all going to fit on that tiny plane? But of course, they were families bringing a family member who was going on the plane. And yes, this was the right plane, Because, said the anthropologist, you never know what plane will turn up. I thought about that, the families bringing a loved one to see them safely on their journey, the web of interconnection in traditional communities, a deep sense of belonging to a people, a family, a place. That story of recognition has stayed with me. People recognise kin in old photos from decades ago. People who had been long gone from this life, some many generations removed. I've heard similar stories before in Indigenous communities. When I think about the feeling I get when I drive the coastal road home, it is also a recognition. Every time I drive along that road, it lifts my heart and soul. It's an epic kind of experience that brings tears to my eyes. It's a feeling that never goes away. I know I am on my way home. The familiarity of the road, the rolling breakers, the salty smell, the little hamlets and occasional villages nestled into the unfolding, rugged coastline, the light on the water. It's a visceral experience of being part of the place, a standout, constant thread of belonging that runs through my life. And it's through allowing ourselves to have these experiences that we continue to deepen into being part of this mystery. I could always choose to drive the faster way home along the inland road before cutting through the mountains to the coast. But sometimes I get that feeling to drive the coastal way, and I never regret it. I have a little Joey in care at the moment. He's tucked in pouches that provide warmth and safety. I take him for walks in the fresh air so he can feel movement and take in the smells and sounds, all the things that would naturally be part of his day in the wild. I see him lift his head back in swamp wallaby style, breathing everything in, looking out, before snuggling back down and fixing his eyes on my face above, just as he would if he were in his mother's pouch. A sense of belonging enlarges our experience of life. It creates a feeling of safety and connection. Working with wildlife has taught me that safety is a number one priority when we rescue any animal. When I think about my connections over the years with different people and places and the way I've been welcomed in, I recognise my own response to feeling safe. The deep sense of belonging this recognition evoked in me, no matter where I was. The feeling of safety soothed the deep anxiety I often felt at being away from my loved ones, away from my place in the world that I call home. Belonging is grounded in our experience of interconnectedness with each other, the natural world, and a larger universal whole. The deeper current is the mystery that we are all part of. I can trace such moments of belonging like bright threads woven through my life journey. They have appeared in unexpected places and in many different forms. In southwest Papua New Guinea, in the ancient landscapes of the Northern Territory, watching whales migrate along the southern Coral Sea off Stradbroke Island, in a teepee meeting in the desert of New Mexico, in underwater caverns on Grand Bahama. Such moments are standout moments, bright moments that are embellishments like knotwork in embroidery, adding detail and beauty to our stories. Take time to look back across your own life. What are the moments that are still alive within you? Which places have become part of who you are? Which encounters awakened a deeper sense of connection with life itself? You may discover that they form a thread woven through your life by moments of recognition, relationship, and participation. A thread that has been steadily leading you toward the recognition that you have always belonged. Every place that has touched us, every encounter that has awakened wonder, every moment when we have recognized ourselves as being part of something larger becomes part of us. We carry them with us, and with them a deeper sense of belonging. This is part of the mystery of belonging. We belong because we are part of life. Thank you for listening. As we move through 2026, a new rhythm is emerging. It's a threshold time where we have the opportunity to begin new ways of being. If this resonated with you, I'd love you to share it with someone who might appreciate it. I create these podcasts to support a deeper way of being, one that brings a sense of belonging, steadiness, and connection to life. If you know someone who might appreciate this work, sharing it is one simple way to help it reach others who are looking for a deeper way of being. You can also subscribe to my free Wild Wisdom monthly practices through my website. And I'll be back with more very soon.